All right, everyone. Once again, welcome today on this rainy Thursday. We're talking about some trending topics. As always, on Thursday, we've done a bunch of different things this month, a lot of good ones, and we are finishing out February with some mood boosting foods. And I decided to go with this topic because I feel like come February, especially the end when we're not quite there yet in spring. We're not right there yet to celebrate all the fun flowers and Easter and all of that. We're in this like middle time. And maybe our mood just drops a little bit, especially on days like today where it's a little bit dreary out there. We need a pick me up. And food can do that for you. Okay. We're going to look at certain foods that we want to incorporate to bring up our mood a bit, and then foods that maybe we should try to avoid because they could bring us down. So, we will get all into that today here. As you can see with our agenda, we're going to really focus on foods that have omega-3 and how that could potentially help us, as well as just some overall feel-good foods. And then, of course, we're going to have some product and recipe inspiration in there as well. And we're going to start with a recipe here today so that way I can get it in the oven and hopefully have a finished product for you guys by the end of class. We might go over a couple minutes, so heads up there. But today we're going to be making this baked salmon with spicy lemon butter, okay? We're going to go into details in a few minutes as to why salmon is a great food to be chatting about today in terms of our mood, but let's get it in the oven first. As you can see here, only 5 ingredients. Lemon butter, as the title implies, some green onions, a little bit of hot sauce if you would like. Okay, you can omit that part if you don't want to be spicy. That's totally okay. And then salmon. This does come from our Savory Recipe Center, 3 guiding stars. You can see the good nutrition profile next to it there. Not going to be one that's going to be high in sugar, even a little bit on the lower side for sodium, considering it is a meal. We'll talk about some things to pair with it here at the end too. Okay, but this is what we're making. Let me go ahead and stop sharing that for now. And we'll turn this camera off and bring up my ingredients over here. You guys can see? Yeah, I still got my Valentine's Day nails, guys. All right, I need to get into spring nails. If you have suggestions, let me know in chat. But I've already prepped a few things here. So in my dish, I sprayed it with a little bit of canola oil just to make sure it doesn't stick. I have 1 salmon fillet in here. Now, the recipe that we're going to send you all is to make 4 salmon fillets. But I'm the only one eating lunch today. I didn't want to defrost 4 frozen salmon fillets. So I just pulled out 1 because I've mentioned to you guys a lot. That's the beauty of our frozen salmon, that they're individually wrapped. You can just pull out 1 for yourself. So I'm going to cut this recipe down a little bit, but we'll make notes of that then for you. But I have my pan sprayed. My salmon fillet is thawed and is in there. And then this is what I've started already for you. Okay, I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but it smells divine. Okay, in here is 1 tablespoon of butter. A recipe calls for 5 tablespoons for 4 fillets. Okay, we're taking it down a notch just to make 1 serving essentially. So I'm taking everything down a fourth, or really 3/4 to only make 1/4. All right, so I have a tablespoon of butter in here, and then I chopped up 1 green onion or scallion. So I just melted the butter and sauteed those scallions a little bit. They got nice and caramelized. They smell lovely. And then we're going to add just 2 more things to it here. First up, this is where the spicy comes in, okay? The recipe for 4 fillets calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. So you know there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So that's anywhere from 3 to 6 teaspoons for 4 salmon fillets. Okay, so based off of that, I'm going to tell you, put in as much hot sauce or as little hot sauce as you want to. I think I'm going to do about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half for 1 fillet. I have never tried this hot sauce before. I see some of you in chat have mentioned that you really like it. This is pink sauce. I was intrigued by the bottle. I'm one of those people that loves marketing. I love the aesthetics of things. And I don't know. I was intrigued. And they have different flavors. Okay, this one in particular is cilantro. Okay, so it's a hot sauce that has added cilantro to it. And another thing that I really like about this from a sodium perspective, only 95 milligrams of sodium. So this is considered a low sodium hot sauce. Most hot sauces are way over 100, usually closer to 200. So a nice little perk with that one. Like I said, I think I'm gonna add about a teaspoon and a half to my dish here. This is my half teaspoon, so I'm gonna do almost 3. Feeling the need for a little spice today. Okay, but yeah, check out that King's hot sauce there. And next we need a little bit of zest and juice from a lemon. So it's a teaspoon of zest for the 4 fillets. Just gonna eyeball some zest in there. But speaking of like boosting your mood, I think the smell of lemon just it does it for me. So lovely. I love lemon. I have a lemon candle going right now. I'm all for it. Okay. So we have some lemon zest in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of juice. Recipe calls for I believe a teaspoon for the 4 fillets. So I'm not gonna go overboard. I'm just gonna do a little squeeze. Okay. And we'll give this a mix. All right. Oh, it's looking good. And now we're gonna go ahead and pour this. I'm gonna try to get it really on my salmon here. Pour this right on top of the salmon. I have my oven going at 425, and we're gonna bake this for 20 minutes. Ooh, it looks good already. Okay, let me pop this in the oven. Then I will get back to our PowerPoint and we will keep chatting about mood boosting foods. All right. Okay, here. Hi, there we go. Now let me share my screen for you again. Perfect, right? So you guys see my screen right now? Here's that recipe again that we will come back to at the end of class. All right, 20 minutes in the oven. Now, like I said, we're going to focus a bit on omega-3. Now, typically when we talk omega-3, especially in our dietitian classes, we're usually chatting about heart health. Because omega-3, a lot of research has shown, can really help to bring down our cholesterol. Okay, you go to the doctor, they say, hey, these cholesterol numbers, especially your bad cholesterol, is getting a little high. Something like omega-3 can help bring those numbers down. And here we are, we're still in Heart Health Awareness Month, but we should be thinking about that all year long. Omega-3 definitely beneficial for our heart. But there's also a lot of research out there to show that omega-3 could potentially have a connection to our brain health as well. So some different benefits starting with cognitive function. Studies have shown that the more omega-3 that we do or consume, the better our memory can be as we get older, okay? So it can help with that cognitive decline as we age if we get in some more omega-3. But then also from a mental health standpoint, okay, omega-3 is showing to help mood regulation of neurotransmitters. So that's a fancy word for if you've ever heard the word serotonin or dopamine, which are those feel-good neurotransmitters in our system. Omega-3 can help with the regulation of those. And because of that, there's a lot of ongoing research right now to see if omega-3 could potentially help reduce the risk or improve symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders. So that's really big, okay? Really big to see that the things that we eat could potentially have that big of a role on our mood, okay? So let's chat about the different types of omega-3. Some of this may be a review from our Wellbeing Connections when we chatted about cholesterol earlier this month. I believe Jenna did it, but we're going to talk about it again. So there are different types of omega-3. All right, you can get omega-3 from animal sources, and you can get omega-3 from plant sources, but they're going to be different types of omega-3. So from an animal, the types are called EPA and DHA. From a plant, the omega-3 is called ALA. Now, what our body likes most is that one on the left, the EPA and the DHA. Our body can convert that ALA a little bit to DHA and EPA, but it's pretty limited, okay? So with that said, supplementation of omega-3 might be necessary depending on your dietary preferences. So if you don't eat animal sources and you're getting omega-3 primarily from plants, that's great that we are getting it from plants and it's going to help. But if we are really trying to see a difference in those cholesterol numbers and potentially a difference in our mood, if we're only getting them from plant sources, we might need to supplement a little bit. The recommendation is to try to get them from both, okay? So just throwing that out there. So what are our animal sources of omega-3? Where do we find it? We've already been chatting about it to start off with our recipe, and that would be in fatty fish, particularly your salmon, tuna, mackerel, and sardines. I'd love to see in chat right now if you like sardines. Let us know. I mention this from time to time, anytime I mention sardines, but way back in the day when I used to teach cooking classes at the Camp Hill Cooking School, and some of you are probably on this class right now, we made sardine tacos, and they were delicious. The folks who are on this call right now, I don't know if you thought they were delicious, but I thought they were delicious. So fatty fish, good source of omega-3. Also shellfish, like shrimp, oysters, and clams. And then eggs, okay? The amount of omega-3 in eggs is going to depend on what the chicken is being fed, but most eggs are going to contain omega-3. It's just how much, okay? So I see some people are not digging the sardine tacos. It is your loss, okay? Totally. So let's look at some products here in the way of salmon. As I mentioned today, I'm using the one that's on the right, our Nature's Promise frozen salmon. This is Alaskan salmon that is wild caught, and it is individually wrapped, like I said. So if you're just looking for one or two, you just take out what you need instead of feeling like you have to defrost the whole bag, okay? On the left, we also have wild caught Alaskan salmon in the can. I've chatted about canned salmon a lot before. I love it. I think it's a great pantry staple. I grew up with my grand making salmon cakes and salmon soup with canned salmon, but there are so many options with canned salmon. You can use canned salmon just as you would canned tuna, right? You can put it on a salad. You can incorporate it into a grain bowl. You could use it anywhere. So don't limit yourself just to tuna, although tuna is great. We can also do canned salmon. It's a wonderful, affordable option that is still going to give us that omega-3. You can see right there on the front, the omega-3 with those words of EPA, DHA combined in a one serving of this here. So really good stuff there. Now, here's some other salmon products. If you like a smoked salmon, on the left here, I've just recently gotten into these. I really like them. They're smoked salmon. Some of them have flavors. They come with little crackers and a little spread, lots of protein, lots of omega-3. If you are watching your sodium, of course, with it being a smoked salmon, it is going to be a little bit higher in sodium. So that's just something to be mindful of, along with everything else that you're consuming throughout the day. But those are a fun one. And then you can get wild caught Alaskan salmon in a pouch, just like you would tuna in a pouch. So a good product there on the right as well. Now, I told you some other recipe inspiration coming your way here. This is a really fun one, our savory site. These are air fryer salmon bowls. If we take a look at the recipe here, it looks overwhelming, but it's not, okay? Along with our follow-up email today, we can send out a link. I did a mood-boosting media segment in Allentown at the beginning of the year. and we made these bowls. So you can see how simple it is, how fun it is, how beautiful it comes together. We'll send out the link to that media segment then. But these are really yummy. The salmon and this sriracha mayo sauce, good stuff. And as you can see, gets those 3 guiding stars, so a better for you recipe. Now, let's switch to some plant-based sources of omega-3, because like I said, even though our body doesn't fully convert all of that ALA to what we need, it still does some. And these sources of omega-3 also provide us with a lot of other great benefits, from fiber to protein. So ground flaxseed, make sure they are ground. Whole flax seeds, our body can absorb those nutrients that we need. So ground flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds are a big one. Walnuts, canola oil. I always recommend using canola oil. I love to bake with canola oil, soybeans, and algae oil as well. Here's some products on our shelf. If you're looking to get more of those into your diet. So on the right here, just some straight chia seeds. I know last week Charlotte talked about gut health and probiotics. We do have chia seeds that have those added probiotics to them. The chia seeds, the hemp hearts, and the flax, you all would use them very similarly. So whether that be to put them in a smoothie, into a pudding, sprinkle them on your cereal, into your baked goods, lots of possibilities with that. On the left here from Mama Chia, if you're familiar with like the kids squeezable applesauce pouches, these would be like a chia pudding squeezable pouch. So lots of different flavors of those. This is a wild raspberry, but once again, you're getting the prebiotics, the probiotics, the omega-3 in those. So those are some fun ones to check out. Also here in the way of the hemp seeds or hemp hearts that I mentioned, we have our Nature's Promise brand on the right, as well as our protein granola that has added hemp seeds. So perfect to put on top of yogurt or just a snack on. That's a good product there on the left. Okay, so more recipe inspiration. In that media segment that I mentioned, I also made this chia seed jam that we put on toast. This is a very simple recipe. I've made chia jam for many years during classes and presentations. It is always a big hit, but just briefly, it's very simple. We are taking some type of fruit. This one calls for frozen strawberries, and you put that into a saucepan, let them cook down. You don't even need to add this added sugar. When I made this for TV a couple weeks ago, I did not put the sugar in there. I just cooked the strawberries down, take it off the heat, add the chia seeds. Chia seeds are going to thicken those strawberries to the consistency of jam without added sugar or without added pectin, which is usually used to make jams or jellies. So it thickens it up, comes out beautiful like this picture here. You can put it on toast as it is. The picture here is showing to put it on top of a whipped cottage cheese. You could do ricotta cheese. Very lovely recipe there using the chia seeds. All right, let's switch gears here to some feel-good foods, right? We're talking about mood. I know I've been all over the place with from fish to chia seeds, but the focus here is that all of those foods are going to potentially help our mood. But what are some other feel-good foods outside of omega-3? Okay, let's talk about mood swings here. So what we really want to try to focus on is foods that contain compounds to help prevent mood swings, whether that be omega-3 or some other ones that we're going to talk about in a little bit that can really help with that regulation and formation of those feel-good neurotransmitters like the serotonin and the dopamine. What we really want to try to minimize is foods containing a lot of added sugar, okay? Because when we're talking about our mood, foods that have a lot of that added sugar can really potentially cause our mood to swing from up and down, right? When we have added sugar, it's going to make our blood sugar go up, and that affects our mood, especially when it just drops constantly up and down, up and down. Our mood can be up and down, up and down. So we want to minimize the added sugar, focus on those foods that have the good compounds to help us. The first one that I want to highlight would be bananas. I believe Charlotte chatted about bananas in our produce spotlight class earlier this week. So check out her YouTube video if you missed it. But bananas contain tryptophan. If you're thinking to yourself, where have I heard of tryptophan before? Tryptophan is also in turkey. And it's always thought that that's why everybody's so tired after eating Thanksgiving, is because you eat a lot of turkey and the tryptophan makes you sleepy. Not necessarily the case, okay? We're usually tired after Thanksgiving because we've either A, eaten a lot, B, we're cleaning up a lot, or C, you're traveling a lot, all right? Not necessarily because of the tryptophan. Tryptophan is actually a precursor to serotonin. That one that I keep saying is that feel-good neurotransmitter, and that's in bananas, okay? So just eating bananas as is, or using them to sweeten baked goods without that added sugar that we want to try to avoid due to mood swings, bananas are a really simple but good one to incorporate into our day, okay? Some recipe inspiration. I love these banana chocolate chip muffins. They are super yummy, very easy to make here. A lot of the ingredients you probably already have on hand. So check these out. Once again, there's no added sugar in these, minus the chocolate chips at the end, all right? And you could omit those if you wanted to, but these are a good one. These are also gluten-free, all right? Next feel-good food that I want to highlight, if you can't tell, I'm kind of highlighting my favorite, bananas and now green tea. I love green tea. Green tea contains L-theanine, which is an amino acid that can produce a sense of calmness. Take a breath. I love green tea. It does make me feel calm. I'm all about it. So this is our Nature's Promise unsweetened green tea. A really great one there. Some recipe inspiration if you want to jazz it up a little bit. These are some blueberry basil green tea spritzers. So a nice mocktail where you're going to muddle the blueberries and the basil at the bottom of a pitcher or just an individual cup. Add some of that green tea, a little bit of pop of lemon, ice if you want, and then you add a splash of a sparkling water or a seltzer. We've been talking about Olipop all this month. Something maybe like the lemon lime Olipop could be fun in here to get that bubbly, but then also a little sweetness and the prebiotics. That could be fun in here too. All right, but really neat idea here with that. So let me check here on the time. We still got a couple minutes yet until I can pull that salmon out of the oven, but let me show you what I'm going to pair it with here. Just a moment. Okay, over here, you guys can see this again. Perfect. So what are we going to do with our salmon? You could do anything you wanted to, right? But like rice would be lovely. Earlier this week when we made those ribs, we could have done cauliflower rice like we did with the ribs. You could do anything. But I was like, why not do a salad? It's been a bit since we've done a salad. I will give you guys a little teaser coming up, and I believe April, we're going to be doing a bunch of salads, like fun spring, Eastery type salads. It's going to be a good time. I'm super pumped for our March and April classes. But this is our Taste of Inspirations chopped salad kit. If you hang out with me for a while, you already know how much I love these. This is the Southwest style one. I'm going to tell you guys, Caesar is really my favorite. Unfortunately, my store was out of the Caesar yesterday because clearly it's everybody else's favorite too. But I would say the Southwest style is my second favorite. We have tons of different kinds, like an everything bagel, an Asian, a Thai mango, a sweet kale. But I was like, let's do this. All right. So we're going to open this up. Get my scissors here. I love the chopped salad because, as the name implies, it's chopped. And I am the last person in the world who wants to get a salad and then have to cut my lettuce. What? Like, no, let's have that nice and chopped for me already, okay? So we're going to put this on here. I use these kits for anything. A big time that I buy these salad kits beyond just like I need a veggie to go with my meat and starch is for a taco night. Okay, whether I put it in my tacos or make a taco salad, I just love them. Okay, so as you can see here, it's nice, chopped and fine. Beyond lettuce, there's also green cabbage in here, carrot, tortilla strips, which we're gonna pull out here in a minute. So here's the bag of the other goodies. All right, tortilla strips, pepitos, and a cilantro pepito dressing. All right. I don't know if I'm going to use the dressing though, because we have all that nice lemony goodness in our pan with our salmon. But I will probably add a little bit more of this other stuff. So here's all those goodies. Yeah. Here's the dressing. Sometimes if you turn the bag around and you look at the label and you're like, oh my, like how does this salad have 11 grams of fat? Well, it's right here. Okay, this is the fat. So if you're trying to cut back on those calories, then use your own dressing of choice, make your own dressing, or just keep in mind that you're not using this whole packet, right? We're just doing a drizzle. A little drizzle is fine. So don't be leery of these salads because of that reason. All right. So let me clean up my mess here. See what I'm doing here with my salmon. I think we're good on time. I'm gonna go check it. Let me pull it out. Just a moment. But we have our salad ready. If you have to go, I totally understand. That is fine. But let me go grab that. Okay. It's looking good. I will say that my onions got a little crispy. A little crispy. That's okay though. All right. Ow. All right. Let me get something to pull that off with. We might put prettier onions on top of this. Oh, but good. It didn't stick. Remember I said that I put that olive oil on. We're gonna just pick some of these crispy ones off. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna assist that. Oh, I'm gonna pull this. It's gonna be hot. I'm gonna pull that skin, just came right off. Hold on. There we go. It's still sizzling, guys. It's hot. Here we go. Gonna place that right on there like that. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, let's make this pretty. So, what do we got in this little bag here? Hold on. Okay. Get a little crispy going on there with that. I feel like I need some tomatoes. That would really make this pop color-wise, but that's okay. Oh, guys, I do have tomatoes. I forgot. Let me show you something quick. Hold on. I don't have many left, and my daughter's not going to be happy that I'm using them. But have you seen these in our store? These little sprinkles? They're teeny tiny tomatoes, and they are legit teeny tiny and so cute, right? Okay, let me wash these. I packed these in her lunch. She loves them. All right, hold on, hold on. All right, but yeah, pick up these sprinkles. Super fun. I knew that I didn't put what was left in her lunch for a reason. I knew it. Let me see. No, I was gonna cut them, but I won't. Let me see if I can. Nope, it's gonna pop. Oh, there we go. Let me get a different knife. You guys are probably like, come on, Sheena, class is over. I know it is. Gotta use a serrated knife when you cut tomatoes. There we go. Hold on. Little pop of orange. Some more here. Okay. Oh, come on. Look, I need one on top of that. There we go. There we go. Odd numbers, right? Don't do even numbers. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna do a little drizzle of this, little drizzle. See? Just like that. Okay, now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a little squeeze of this lemon, just a little. And then where did I have a couple extra green onions that we'll put on there since we took off the crispy ones. Ta-da! There we go. Yum. It smells good. I'm excited. All right, everybody. Let me bring my video back up here. Okay, well, thank you all for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. Sorry we went over a little bit. Be on the lookout for that follow-up email for the recipe and other tips, and we will catch you later. I do believe that this was the last class for the month. Okay, no classes tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. All right. Bye, everyone.